you everyone for being here. Treasurer Mike Pieciak. We are expecting some others from the Office of Senator Welch, but they're not here yet. Valued community partners, volunteers, refugee agencies, beloved clients, and friends. Good afternoon and welcome to this gathering. We are here today because as a community, as a state, we care. We are here because our clients, refugees, asylees, SIVs, and other new Americans are hurting under the loss of food stamps. Imagine being a parent of 6, working full-time, earning $20 an hour, and still being unable to adequately feed your children or pay rent. This is not a failure of effort. This is a failure of policy. When we decided to hold this event 2 weeks ago, in response to the SNAP cuts, we started with nothing except good intentions. But our appeals did not go unheeded. We saw this past week our partners, volunteers, donors, farmers, kids, youth come into our office, their hands laden with dry goods and fresh produce. We were overwhelmed by the love and support our community showed for our immigrant neighbors, classmates, co-workers, and friends. The compassion our community showed for those who are now making such difficult choices. Do I pay my rent or feed my family? It's overwhelming. It has been a year of upheaval and chaos, but in that chaos, I believe we have found each other. We have found community. I truly believe this is our moment to come together, so we all survive together. Finally, I want to recognize our community partners and volunteers and other refugee agencies and a host of others who made this, and the food security organizations who helped make this event what it is. You can see the amount of food and the produce that has come in. It's just fantastic. I particularly want to thank USCRI staff. We have this here at 2 rounds of RIFs, reductions in force. We are now a very small team, a tighter, more cohesive outfit, I think. Our staff work long days and nights to make this happen. I would like to thank them for their dedication to our mission and to our clients. A word about the format. There's food on this side, hot soup and snacks and drinks. Please feel free to help yourself at any time. We have a distinguished panel of food security organizations. You don't see them here, but they're here. Don't worry. And they will talk about food resources and answer any questions you might have. Welcome, Tracy. Please come here. Thank you. After the formal part of the proceedings, we have several tables of fresh produce and dry goods that our clients, especially those who have lost SNAP benefits recently, will be able to take home with you. And we have volunteers and staff who will help you with that. I asked the speakers, I don't think I did this, but I asked the speakers to speak slowly so that the interpreters are able to interpret. Also, we have at each of the tables cards and pens. If there are any questions, please write them down and bring them up here to us, and we will present them to our panel. Thank you so much, and now it is really my great pleasure to invite to the podium Treasurer Mike Pieciak. He and his office, and Peter Trombley, who has the weekend off, how dare he, have been responsive and supportive of our work all of the time. I just want to give you that shout out, Mike, because you've really been supportive of our clients and these communities. So thank you very much. It's my great pleasure to invite you over here now.
Well, thank you so much for that very kind and gracious introduction. It really is my pleasure to be here and pleasure to be here with everybody. You know, I think everyone in this room understands that when we're talking about food, food is more than simply nourishment. Food is dignity, food is belonging, and most importantly, food is community. We gather around a table, whether we gather around the kitchen table, whether we gather around community dinner, whether we're in line at a food shelf, we are all reminded of the simple truth that food connects us. It reminds us that we're bound together, that we depend on one another, that our collective well-being is only as strong as how we look after and care for each other. It's really heartening to see all that food back there on that food shelf, on that food line. My mom, 40 plus years ago, founded a soup kitchen in Brattleboro called St. Bridget's Kitchen that she ran for 40 years. And every single day, she was working hard to feed somebody in our community. When I was a little kid and I'd go around with her to the Brattleboro community and she'd visit folks that were largely shut in and shut off from society, you know, without fail, every single time she was so kind and caring and loving and respectful of every single person that she encountered. And it really instilled in me this idea of what community is all about. Community means that everyone matters, everyone has value, and everyone deserves dignity. And I think that's what this gathering today is really all about, that belief that everyone in our community matters. But, as we've all heard and as we all know, that belief is being tested now more than ever. Across the country, we're seeing efforts to take food away from those who need it the most, to cut SNAP benefits, to narrow eligibility, to make it harder for our families to feed their kids. Here in Vermont, we're also facing challenging choices. Our state's decision to interpret new federal rules narrowly means Afghan refugees, families who risked everything to stand with America, are being denied the same food support as others. And at the same time, our federal government is literally turning its back on our immigrant neighbors, targeting families who have come here seeking safety and dignity. Safety and freedom, the very ideals that define us as a country. It's hard not to look at all of that and feel a sense of dread, feel a sense of hopelessness. But for me, what gives me hope is what we heard from Sonali, the way that Vermonters are stepping up. In May, myself, along with a handful of other leaders, founded the Vermont Legal Immigration Defense Fund. This was a fund designed to raise money to ensure that we had the legal support needed so that every single Vermonter who was being targeted by ICE did not face deportation alone, that they had a lawyer by their side. And that effort, after about 6 months, has raised $500,000 from over 1,200 Vermonters. It's a great effort. We're only halfway to our goal, but it's showing the way that Vermonters are stepping up every day in the community. Every part of our state has donated money to this effort, whether it's through a community event, an art show, a dinner, whether it's quiet generosity. People have stepped up and are supporting their neighbors because they believe in the fundamental idea of due process. So we need to keep stepping up. We need to keep doing everything we can because it's certainly who we are as Vermonters. We believe that when one of us is hungry, all of us are poorer for it. And when one of us is excluded, all of us are diminished. There's a verse from the Bible, from Exodus, that says, "Do not mistreat or oppose a stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." And another from Hebrews that says, "Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so you have entertained angels unawares." When I think of these ancient words, I think that their meaning is timeless. They tell us that it is our obligation to welcome, to feed, and to protect. It's not optional, it's sacred. It's the foundation of what it means to live in community, and it's the foundation and the essence of true faith. And I would argue it's also the essence of democracy. Because democracy only works when we recognize the equal worth of every single person. When we say that the table is big enough for everyone to have a seat. That there's no one's humanity depends on their birthplace, their paperwork, or their politics. Here in Vermont, our future is literally bound by attracting new Americans to our state. You power our economy forward. You will continue to power our economy into the future. There's no one population, in my opinion, that's more determined of our future than the new American community here in Vermont. So let's continue looking after each other. Let's continue to remember that when we hold that high ideal, that everybody matters, that we work to implement policies that impact everybody, that support everyone. It's not just charity, but it's living our values. It's living our faith and living it to the highest ideals. It's how we honor the angels among us, the strangers, the seekers, the new Vermonters. It's who reminds us what courage, hope, and resilience look like. It's now that we prove in Vermont that no one eats alone, no one is left behind, and everybody, every single person matters. Thank you so much for having me. Enjoy your day. I hope you have a great conference.
Thank you so much. Did you just take my? It's fine. Maybe I have it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite James McNerney from Senator Peter Welch's office, who's going to read a letter from Senator Welch.
Well, good afternoon, all. As Sonali said, my name is James McNerney, and I do a mixture of casework and outreach in Senator Welch's office, focused on hunger and nutrition policy right here in Burlington. The senator was very sorry that he couldn't be here with you today. He was held over in DC as Congress continues to work on a resolution to this terrible shutdown situation, which we know is impacting not just SNAP benefits, but government services across the board. So while he wishes he could be here, and while I know he would much rather be here, work in DC calls at the moment. So he did want me to share just this brief letter that he wrote with you all here. Dear friends, thank you to USCRI Vermont for hosting today's event on food access. And thank you to the volunteers and the amazing community partners for coming together to support this event. Your work offering a welcoming and supportive space ensures Vermonters have the information that they need to navigate some of these difficult changes to the SNAP program. Food insecurity is one of the greatest challenges facing our state and our country, and I commend you for creating a space for folks to gather, share resources, and support each other. I appreciate all USCRI does for our immigrant communities today and every day. I hope to be with you again in Vermont soon. Sincerely, Senator Peter Welch. One final note that I wanted to make. Despite the fact that we are in the midst of a shutdown, we have a full team of caseworkers that are still on duty and still manning the phones and answering emails. So any sort of issues that arise, whether it's related to immigration or refugee status, or whether it's related to food stamps or any other sort of federal program or benefit, we are online, we are working, and we stand ready to help. So I encourage anyone who needs any sort of assistance with federal issues, please reach out to our office. Thank you.
And thank you for being accessible even during the shutdown. I want to invite Dan Smith to the podium now. He's the president and CEO of YMCA. And he will talk to us about what YMCA has to offer to our clients.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you and be a part of a community that is so caring and trying to rally around at this moment. It affirms my decision to move to Burlington to be a part of this YMCA and part of the community. So thank you for all of you that are doing this. It's important work for us to rally around those folks at times when they are in their moment of emergency as our government backs away from programs that have been around for years to help us. So the YMCA has, throughout its existence, been a place that has been open to everyone and has done much to try to make it available to everyone in our community. And in these times, that's no different. And so while we aren't the disaster response moment for food, we are in other ways trying to help your families continue to have a normal existence through this time of difficulty. And so I wanted to lift up a few programs that are free for families now. And so one of those is the Black Youth in Action program for new immigrant and Black youth in our area. If they want to get involved in that, it gives them access to the YMCA, so a safe place to go after school. It gives them access to some food cards at City Market, and it gives them mentorship in trying to determine what they might do after they graduate high school. And so it's a wonderful program led by Javon Scales, one of our staff members at the Y. And you can find out more information on that on our website. I also want to lift up that just recently we expanded our preschool and early childhood education program that we have in Winooski to now be open to the public at large. And it does still currently have full-day preschool available to it, seats available at it. And so those seats are, because it's a licensed program, they can be subsidized by the state, and so a family could access that basically free of charge through that state support and be able to let their kids develop and grow through that program. The third one that I'll lift up comes up in the summer, and that's our Camp Splash program, and that's for youth that want to learn how to swim, and they can do that for free as well in our summer program. So I just wanted to highlight those three programs for you today and encourage that in these moments of difficulty to think about how else we might just bring opportunities for development for our kids and a routine to their lives that will help keep them moving. So thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And thank you, YMCA. It is now my great pleasure to welcome to the podium our really beloved State Refugee Director. We all know this, all our community partners know how supportive she is of our work, of our mission, and of our clients. Tracy Dolan.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. My name is Tracy Dolan, and I am the director of the State Refugee Office. Sometimes governments make mistakes, and I think when governments make mistakes, it's easy for us to think that we are confused and maybe there isn't enough. There isn't enough food, there aren't enough rights for everybody. There isn't enough resources for everybody, but I think it's important for us to remember there is actually enough, and sometimes government policies confuse us and make us think there isn't. So our challenge is to figure out how do we get at what already is here and get it to the people who need it. Because sometimes governments are not going to solve our problems. Sometimes we're going to have to wait until there are new leaders. And in the meantime, we have to do the work ourselves. And refugees are used to doing hard things. You do hard things all the time. And you are stronger than many, many other people because of your experiences. And I know that people in trouble often help other people in trouble more than anyone else. And so today is a good example of us taking a problem and figuring out how do we get the resources, like food, to the people who need it. And this is probably the kind of thing we're going to have to do and think about for a while until some policies change. There will always be policies that are helping us, and there will probably always be policies that are not helping us. And so our job is to dig in. I think Vermont has great partners. I think every time I talk to, even in state government, when I talk to somebody from another department in state government, when I talk to a community organization, everybody wants to help. So I think it's a matter of figuring out how we do that in a way that each person gets some of the basic things that they need. There are not easy answers, but today is a great example of hope. Do you know Yakuba Bogre at AALV? You know Jacob, Yakuba? Yeah. Sometimes when I have a problem, I will call Jacob or Yakuba, and he makes me feel calm again. And he will say in his very calm, quiet way, he says, "Oh, Tracy, we just have to try hard, and we just have to be positive, and we just have to keep working to fix our problems." You know, he says, let's not get caught up in everything that we hear in the news. Let's not worry every day about what the government is doing, because that will shake us too much. He encourages me to listen to that, but also, more importantly, focus on the people here and what we can do now. And I think today is a good example of that. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And now, it is my pleasure, great pleasure, to invite one of our valued partners as we resettle SIVs from Afghanistan here, Molly Gray, Executive Director of the Vermont Afghan Alliance.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Welcome to everyone here today. I want to start by thanking USCRI for all of the incredibly hard work to bring together all of the interpreters, the incredible food, and all of the food that will be distributed today. Let's give USCRI a round of applause and gratitude. I work with the Vermont Afghan Alliance, an organization helping the Afghan community with employment, housing, driving lessons, immigration, legal assistance, and other services. Today, I want to talk about some of what's happening at the statewide level to address the end of SNAP. As you know, on October 1st, Vermont ended SNAP for refugees, asylees, and special immigrant visa holders. This is so frustrating because this is not what we do as Vermonters, and this is not what any of us expected. So I want to tell you what we're doing about it. Our organization, VAA, with USCRI and ECDC in Southern Vermont, we continue to go to government leaders and say, bring SNAP back. Bring SNAP back. And if the federal government won't pay for it, let the state of Vermont pay for it. I don't know if the state will do this, but we're going to ask them, and we're going to give them every opportunity to do the right thing. But in the meantime, we have to do something, all of us together. And that is, if you learn about food resources, where to get a hot meal, where to pick up groceries, you have to tell your neighbors. We all have to tell each other about what resources are available. We have to look out for each other, right? We are family here in Vermont. We look out for each other. If you just arrived in Vermont 4 weeks ago, or if you've been in Vermont now for 3 or 4 years, it does not matter. We are all in this room, we are Vermonters, all of us. Okay? So, please look out for your neighbors. Share information. If you learn about something helpful, share it with your neighbors, share it with other families. There are many people who are not here today who need to know about food resources, okay? Everyone has to leave today to help share information. And if you're willing to share your story, to be part of an advocacy effort with government leaders in Vermont, I will be here outside and I'm happy to talk to you, okay? Thank you for everything you're doing. You are resilient, you are strong, and we're going to get through this together.
Thank you, Molly. I want to invite to the podium now one of our very greatest partners from the Burlington School District, Miriam, who's the director of Multilingual programs. Yes, I know that. Yes, I'm so sorry. It's okay. Thank you, Miriam.
Of course.
You are we know what we do together. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Miriam. My name is also Mariana. I am the Director of Programs for Multilingual Learners in the Burlington School District. It's a beautiful job. I get to support everyone who comes to the Burlington School District with the richness of a background other than English. And I've been doing this kind of work for almost 40 years. The place I have loved it the most is here in Vermont because of the support that I feel for every kind of diversity in the state of Vermont. I want to give a shout out before I begin other remarks to my son Gabe, who's sitting over there in the red hoodie, and all the other youth volunteers who are here today. Last night, Gabe and I had a wonderful conversation about what it means to be an immigrant, what it means to be a refugee, and not any iota of shame or regret about that, but a sense of pride. Gabe's grandfather was both an immigrant and a refugee from Iran. And I have made every time we've gathered here together, I've made a beautiful connection with my hamvatan و همسایه از افغانستان. چقدر خوشحال شدم با شما صحبت کردم. One of the things that Gabe reminds me of often is that when I am frustrated and stressed, much like Tracy and Jacob, I have a strategy. Actually, I have two of them. The first one, Dan, you might be interested in. Gabe says, Mom, go to the Y. Go work out. The second one is Gabe will say, Mom, go to chorus and sing. I like to sing, so I'm gonna embarrass myself. One of my favorite songs has these words in it. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. I am a gentle person, but I am angry. My anger does not keep me from action. I am angry that our country has moved itself in a direction that is not inclusive, but exclusive, that is not kind, but is cruel, that does not recognize, as anyone would, that people who are hungry cannot function, cannot be happy, and most especially for my work, cannot learn. I will simply not allow this to happen for the students of Burlington. I want to tell you what we are doing, not what I am doing, what we are doing. It follows what some of my colleagues have said. In every school, we have made sure to have food resources available. If your family is hungry, please tell someone. You can go to the main office, you can go to the nurse, you can go to the counselors. Everyone has food resources available. Some of those are fresh food, such as what you see here. Some of those are gift cards, and some of those are access to other resources. Please do not stay silent. Please speak up. And as was previously said, please tell your neighbors, tell your friends. If your children are connected to Burlington schools, please let the schools know your needs. We will do our very, very best in collaboration with this beautiful community to make sure that your needs are met. The second thing we are doing is we are calling upon our greater community to also make contributions. So at every school, we have a collection of gift cards. If you don't want to pick up food, you can pick up some gift cards and figure out a way to use those gift cards in the ways that benefit your family the most. One of the things I'm afraid of is that people in a season that for Americans represent holidays and sometimes a spirit of giving will come forward now and then will forget. I don't want that to happen either. I have a sense, and this is part of my anger, that this need will go on for quite some time. So I think it's really important that we recognize this is not a one-time thing. This is not charity. This is not something we do because we want to make ourselves feel better. This is something we do because we know the essential human need for food and to maintain connection with community. I want to say this without any misunderstanding. It has been said before. Everyone here belongs here. No one will be pushed to the side in Burlington, in the Burlington schools, at least as long as I am there. I promise you that. I would like to hear from you personally if there's something that you need. If we are not filling your needs, please let us know. Tell the truth to your multilingual liaisons, to the school nurses, to the school counselors, to the teachers in your school, and we will do everything we can to connect with you and provide for you. I'm gentle, but I'm angry, and my anger will keep me moving forward in action. Please let the same thing be true for all of you. Thank you very much.
Essex Westford School District here? Okay. So I'd like to call upon all the food security organizations that are here. Mariana, Sears, Kyle, Joanna Dolan. Kyle is from the Vermont Food Bank. Mariana is from Hunger Free Vermont. Joanna is from NOFA VT. Thank you so much for being here and answering any questions that our clients might have. You can, if you have, if you want to talk about your the food access sources and all of that, you can either come here or stay there, whatever makes you feel comfortable. You have a mic over there as well, and Mariana, you can start. Thank you. I'm going to mute my mic and yours on.
Yes.
Thank you. Hola, bienvenidos. Hello and welcome. Before I say anything, I want to check with the interpreters to see if they're doing well with interpreting. I know that it can be hard when people speak so much and so many words are said. Is everybody doing okay with the speed? Yes. Okay, awesome. My name is Mariana Sears. I work for Hunger Free Vermont in the community engagement team as an outreach and community engagement manager. So we brought, along with my coworker Vicky, who's sitting in the audience, we brought a number of resources for you to take today with you and for you to share with friends, neighbors, and other people in your community that you think can use them. These resources include information about places that you can go find free food, free hot meals, produce, and also information about programs that you can sign up that you might still be eligible depending on your immigration status. And we want to make sure that you use these programs if you qualify for them. Hunger Free Vermont works not only with community engagement and outreach and distributing information, but also our mission is to end hunger across the state of Vermont permanently. And we do that by changing the systems that have put hunger in place first. So we work very close with legislatures and with partners organizations to advocate for these programs to become inclusive, accessible, and good for the people that need them, which could be any of us and all of us at any time. So today, some of us may look like we're sitting here and we look like we're food secure and that we're distributing information that we could have been hungry in our childhood, or we could get hungry in the future when we get older, or our kids in the school can be hungry. Anybody can use any of these programs and resources at any time, and that includes all of us. Some of us also have been through the immigration experience and know how hard it is to adjust to a new place and find a home. So trust in your community, trust in the people that are close to you, and make sure that you talk to each other and you share information and resources. As it was said before, Hunger Free Vermont keeps our website updated with the latest information on the changes that are currently happening around the SNAP program, which is the program that Molly mentioned before. It is called 3 Squares Vermont here in the state of Vermont, and this is a program that gives people that qualify money every month to buy food. And because of these changes in the federal law, that program has been cut for a number of different categories of immigrants. And we are working hard to make changes, to make sure that everybody receive those benefits in time, whether they are eligible or they could become eligible in the future. Recently, because of the government shutdown, these benefits have been disconnected and delayed. Yesterday, as of November 7th, the state of Vermont paid those benefits to everyone who was eligible according to the federal law. So it may be some of you or it may not be some of you depending on your immigration status. We are happy to chat with you when this event is over to see if we can help you figure out if you have questions regarding eligibility, if you qualify, or if you have questions regarding your benefits. And I guess I will pass it to my dear friends from the Food Bank and from NOFA Vermont. These three organizations, along with other partners in the food access world, we work very close together in coalition, in community, to make sure that everybody is included in our vision of a food secure Vermont. It is possible. We have a roadmap to guide us through 2035, in which we're hoping to feel that Vermont arrive at a food secure future. So all together, we're gonna be working on that. And anybody can be included in that work. So if you feel like you want to participate, there's a place for you too. And I guess I will respond questions afterwards if there are some.
Hi, my name is Joanna Doran. I work with NOFA Vermont, or the Northeast Organic Farming Association of Vermont. At NOFA, we support farmers. I think some folks in here might be farmers, and folks that want to access local food. We try our best to connect people with their local farmer to get the freshest, best food that's grown right here in Vermont. To do that, we have some food access programs to make local food more accessible. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of those programs in case they might be helpful for you. One program is called Crop Cash. And I have some here. It's hard to see, but I have some out on the table as well. These coupons are typically for SNAP recipients. When you go to a farmer's market, you can spend your SNAP dollars and get extra coupons to spend on produce at the farmer's market. And then with the Crop Cash Plus coupon, you can buy milk, eggs, cheese, bread, any food that is SNAP eligible. We know that a lot of folks have been excluded from the SNAP program recently, so we're trying to make this program accessible even if you don't receive SNAP benefits. So to do that, at least for the month of November, anybody who is experiencing food insecurity or needs help buying local food can get $20 of Crop Cash Plus whenever you visit a farmer's market, and you can spend those $20 at the market. I'm going to be passing these out today, so if you want to spend money at a farmer's market, you can have $20 free to do that. There are a few farmers markets that happen throughout the winter in this area, in Winooski, in Burlington, and in Shelburne, and I can help you figure out when those happen and how to find them. But please find me afterwards, and I can give you coupons to bring to the farmers market and spend at the various vendors' booths there. We also have a program called Farm Share, which is where you can apply for the program and then get a discount on a weekly share of produce throughout the summer season. This is for folks that might have some money to put towards a regular sort of subscription to a farm's produce. And if you're looking for something consistent to get food on a weekly basis throughout the full summer, I can tell you more about that program as well. And lastly, I just want to repeat what Mariana was saying. We are here working together to try to find ways to ensure that everyone in Vermont is fed, regardless of your paperwork status or citizenship status. We want to work with you all to make sure that you're able to get the food that you need and want. And if anyone here is interested in growing food, we can also try to work with you to find places to grow food as well. We're always here to help, and I just hope that you know we're friends in this, and we're very happy to be here with you in this journey. I'm going to pass it to Kyle.
Hi everyone, my name is Kyle Weatherhog. I work for the Vermont Food Bank, and if anyone, I'm just going to share a little bit about what the Vermont Food Bank is first before I talk a little bit more about some of the programs. So Vermont Food Bank is a part of a national organization called Feeding America, and we have 3 warehouses in the state. We have a warehouse in Barre, Vermont, Rutland, Vermont, and then Brattleboro. And those 3 warehouses are able to help distribute food to about 215 plus partners or food shelves and pantries across the state. So I actually see Pedro in the back there. Pedro, you could share, wave your hand. Pedro is the director of the pantry in South Burlington. And these pantries are able to access food from the Vermont Food Bank at a frequency every month, and they have varying hours depending on the community. And those are amazing places for you to be able to access food. Most food shelves and pantries are available to folks living in that same community. So for South Burlington, you may have to be a South Burlington resident to access food there. And that's similar to many other food shelves and food pantries in the area. However, most pantries will not turn somebody away. So I would say the food pantries are a really great opportunity and location for you to be able to access food. They also have a lot of information and resources that are able to be shared when you go there. So that's one place. So the pantries are located in many different places in Vermont. We have locations in Winooski, Burlington, South Burlington, Colchester, Milton, many of the places I'm sure that are around. And Mariana has a piece of paper here to share many of the various resources. We also, if you come visit, we have a table, the 3 of us are all back in the back there. There is a app or a website where you can find and you can search a location. If let's say you live in Burlington and you're looking for food on a Thursday afternoon, you can look for what is open at the specific time, and you can see what is available in the community, whether you're looking for a hot meal or just produce or perishable, non-perishable foods. So those are really helpful resources, and if, again, along the whole lines of sharing information with your friends, that is a helpful way that you can, even if you don't know, maybe you have somebody who lives in a different town and you don't know the exact information, that's a helpful resource to share so that, again, they can just look up the information on their own and figure out day to day what is available. And different communities such as Winooski has a program through the schools called Veggie Van Go, where students are able to access a bag of vegetables twice a month. And that program is awesome for again, accessing fresh food. You just have to encourage your kiddos to take food. And then there are various programs we run, again, to help increase fresh food, but 3 Squares Vermont, so SNAP benefits. We do have a team on the Vermont Food Bank, and that team is available to help if you have questions. I was talking to a team, I'm not actually on that team, but they are able to help if you have questions specific to your own case. If you have received messages on your phone, they're happy to help share more information about what that might mean, that message. And they're also really helpful if you feel you are available or if you're eligible to apply. They're able to help with that application process. Those are the main resources that I want to share today, and I think Sonali, maybe if you're around, but we're happy to answer any questions that you all have. We will be located in the back of the room, just to the right where you came up the stairs or the elevator, near the elevator, and we're also, again, able to answer questions here.
I got distracted by the very lovely vegetarian chili that's on over there. Thank you so much, Kyle, Johanna, and Mariana. And I want to invite Michelle now to take over question and answers. Was there anything else I should have done? What was it?
Hi, I'm Michelle. I am the Program Manager for Health and Wellness for USCRI. I do want to point out before we go into the question and answering that we have lists of those areas all translated into the different languages in the back. So anyways, we're going to start with the question and answering period.
I was also just going to add, the website I was sharing about how to find food is also translatable in many languages. Maybe not Kirundi. I was sad Kirundi's not on there, but there's Kiswahili.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So we have a panel up here. We have Tracy, Dolan. We have Kyle. We have Johanna, Mariana, and Matt from USCRI who knows the answer to everything. So if you have any questions, you can ask your interpreters at the table if you want, or you can write down your question and give it to the interpreter. Or if anybody has a question, I can come to them with the mic and they can ask it. Okay. Hello, and what is your question?
Hi, my name is Ann. I'm a family friend. And I'm wondering, lost her SNAP benefits and had to reapply, and she's reapplied but is not hearing anything. Is it worth a trip to the office to ask how long, or?
Yes, if the family has the eligible status, it is worth it to reapply. If they have lost benefits because eligibility rule changing, in that case, I don't think it's worth it to reapply at this point. Unless we hear from our advocates that there's something changing in that would be something to keep in mind to reapply when that happens.
They have reapplied, they do have status, but nothing has happened in the past week, and of course 4 children are hungry. So my question is, should we go to the office and be a pest?
So if they have already put an application, yes, it is worth it and needed to follow up to see what's happening. There is a phone line with interpretation services, or they can go to the office in Burlington if they live in the Burlington area, or they can also call the food bank and try to check if their team that do application assistance knows what's going on with that application. And if none of that works, you can always contact us and we can try to see if we can help you in any other way that we will not let you go unanswered.
Thank you. I do want to point out, if people have their letters that denied them of SNAP benefits, you can come and see your case manager at USCRI. At this time, people with refugee, asylee, SIV status are not eligible for SNAP benefits as of October 1st, and unfortunately, you have to wait to get your green card as of now, and then wait 5 years after that to qualify. But if you have any questions, come to the office, call the state, we can help you. Does anybody else have questions? Really? Nobody? Are you the interpreter?
So am I supposed to apply until I get the green card, or I have to wait?
Her question was, is she supposed to apply, not apply until she gets the green card, or should she wait?
Yeah, if you are a refugee and you don't have a green card, if you're an asylee and you don't have a green card, you will not be able to get SNAP benefits. If that's the question, yeah. So applying for 3 Squares Vermont, if you don't have the green card, if you're a refugee or asylee and you don't have a green card yet, you will not get it even if you apply.
And I just want to say, I think there's hope in that SNAP is one program that the state provides to support food access. And there are many other organizations and people trying to do the work to feed and provide food. So I know it's really not great news. And also, don't worry, there's still food out there, fresh food that you can get. And there's another question in a second.
For example, if you have somebody at a school, tell the school, and they will likely be able to help you with food on a regular basis, not just one time. They will probably be able to help you with food at your school, and also reach out to these organizations. They can connect you with other food resources. 3 Squares Vermont is not the only food program available in Vermont.
What if I'm a mom having a child who is born here, but then I lost my food stamp? What help should I get on that?
The question was, if they have a child who was born here in the United States and they still lost their food stamps, whether or not they would still get food stamps.
If you have a child who was born in the U.S., that's a U.S. citizen. If you have a child with a green card who is under 18, that child can also get 3 Squares Vermont. So talk to your case manager at USCRI or AALV or at Vermont Afghan Alliance, and they will contact 3 Squares Vermont and assist you. Maybe there was a mistake, and they will follow up. But if you have a citizen and you are eligible, right? So if you have a citizen and you also meet the other eligibility, for example, you make less money than the minimum requirement, things like that, you can get assisted. So talk to your case manager if you think you should be getting 3 Squares Vermont because you have a citizen or a green card who is under 18 years old, or if you've been here for 5 years. Talk to your case manager and they will be able to follow up. Oh yeah, and I assume people know about WIC, Women, Infant, Children Program. That does not work, that is not affected by these policies. So if you're a mother and you have a child under 5 or you're pregnant, you can also get WIC. And they do not ask about these kinds of immigration questions.
Are there any other questions? I wanted to ask if you guys could just remind people where the food banks are again and how they can get to them.
Sure, there are locations. We have handouts on our table back there, and there's so this handout can share some of the information, and we have these in different languages. We also have the Vermont Food Bank on their website, so it's vermontfoodbank.org. Has a map, so if you plug in, or I think you even can use your location to find locations that will provide food, and then they'll also share their hours. So today, it might say it's Saturday, and so it's I don't know what month or week of the month it is, but Winooski Food Shelf may be open if it's the second or the fourth weekend. So it will help to share when things are open. I think that's the main.
How often can they go?
So it depends on each food shelf. So for example, South Burlington, you can go twice a month. In different food shelves, it changes. Yeah, Winooski is twice a month as well.
Because they have a little child and the food they prepare for the food banks, they don't really like it. So they ask me to
So the question was, if they're families and they have children and the food at the food bank is something they're not used to and they don't like, how do they address those needs?
You can please share what your experience with either the food shelf manager and try and share what you really need. That could be something that they can change. It may also be more difficult, but if you tell people, you say, hey, we really don't like this thing, we'd really like something else, we can try to make those changes. Sometimes in Vermont, there's the seasons, it's different to grow here. So, for example, right now, there are not many tomatoes growing outside. So we have to buy those from other places, so they might be less easy to purchase or receive. But there are many foods that are available and accessible that if you just share what your needs are, that will be really helpful, and change can happen that way.
Are there any other questions?
That was a great question. And yeah, depending, we were just talking up here about different needs. So if you prefer halal meat, please share that with your food shelf manager as well. As that's something that sometimes they're able to provide, and maybe they have it in a smaller area because it's a smaller need and or a large need, but to keep it separate. So just share and advocate for yourself what you need, and sometimes those needs can be met.
I also want to mention that USCRI is going to be trying to have more food drives that are specific to our clients, to refugees and asylees and SIVs. And you guys have been amazing at helping with that. So I'm going to hand.
I was just going to say, come please talk to us in the back, and we are happy to listen and share anything that you need.
Okay, any other questions before I hand it over to our beautiful director? It's all yours.
Thank you, Michelle. And thank you again, Johanna, Mariana, and Kyle. And thank you for being here and also being willing to be at the back and provide more information and answer questions. Thank you very much. I want to tell, round of applause. I want to tell everybody, please, on this side of the hall is a lot of very delicious food. Please help yourselves as much as possible because we don't want to take anything back. And now I want to invite Matt Thompson, our program manager for Refugee. I want to, we're going to have something else for you, but I want to say this. Matt has been at the USCRI for 17 years. November 2025 memory. He has a wealth of knowledge, and we are really happy that he is still with us 17 years later. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Sonali, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. It really took on the part of a lot of people and organizations for us to gather this food and to share this information. So thank you again to our speakers and panelists, Vermont State Treasurer Mike Pieciak, Senator Peter Welch and staff, Tracy Dolan, Director of the Vermont Refugee Office, Molly Gray, Executive Director of the Vermont Afghan Alliance, Maria Davis and Miriam Ehtesham-Cating from the Multilingual Learners Program at Burlington School District, and from Mariana Sears, Outreach Manager, Hunger Free Vermont, Johanna Doran, Direct Markets and Local Food Access Director at the Northeast Organic Farming Association of Vermont, and Kyle Weatherhawk, Senior Manager of Community Engagement at the Vermont Food Bank. Thank you to all the organizations and groups that provide information about changes to SNAP and how families can access free food at our local food shelves. Thank you. Thanks to all the community organizations and groups and individuals that have shared food today. Burlington School District, Common Roots, Feeding Champlain Valley, Intervale Center Fair Share Program, Shelburne Orchards, St. Michael's College's Institute for the Environment Farm, the Vermont Food Bank Veggie Van Go, Sarum Cafe, City Market, South Burlington School District, Salvation Army, and so many generous individuals. We really appreciate it. And thank you to the many volunteers and event partners who have worked hard to arrange for this event. St. Michael's College, Dr. Richard Plum, the president of St. Mike's, James Baker, Associate Director of Special Events and Student Activities, Professor Omara Vasquez, and other faculty from St. Mike's, and our St. Mike's student volunteers and Burlington School District volunteers, and Stephen Herron from Town Meeting TV for providing audio and video support. And thank you to everyone who came here today to learn about what's happening with SNAP and how we can help each other make sure everyone has food, because everyone deserves to eat. So as we wind down this event, I'd like to invite everyone who is food insecure, who needs food today, to come to the tables on the side. We have boxes and bags, and we have food to share with you that you can take home. So please, you can come over to the corner there, and Dee Dee will hand you a box or bag, and you can go through and select items to bring home to your family.